Hi, hello everyone. We'll be speaking on key elements of a winning resume today. We'll look at what is a resume, and we also look at the difference between a resume and CV, and we also look at elements of resume and the general element of resume. Then we'll look at what are the key elements of a unique resume. What is a resume? Basically, resume is a document that shows a potential employer that you qualify and that you are able to do the job that is being advertised. And it tells the employer about your related education, experiences, and skills, and also the history that shows that you qualify for this position. So when they look at your resume, you should be able to tell that your education, your job experience, your skills, and all your work history is related to the job or position that is being advertised. So the differences between resume and a CV. So as I said, resume show that you qualify for a specific position and it should not be more than 2 pages. Whereas a CV is a document that shows all the history of your education and work experience. And there's no limit to the length of your CV. The length should be based on all your experience, depends on how many experience that you have since you started working. And most importantly, CV is only needed when you're applying for a very high position or you are applying for grants and fellowship that requires that the potential employer or those that are involved will want to know all your experiences. And so that's the differences between a CV and a resume. These are the key elements of this resume. Your personal information, and then the objective, your education, your work and related experiences, all the award and honors that you receive, activities and hobbies, skills and references. So these are the general elements that are included in a resume. Then the key elements of a winning resume. Now here, these are elements that make your resume stand out. It makes it to gain the employers of your potential employer. Now, when you're applying for a job, a lot of people are also applying for this same job. And if you want your resume to stand out or to catch the attention of that potential employer, you have to include some certain things. And number one is the objective. This is what shows what your purpose for applying for the job. What are you trying to achieve? You have to be specific. I'm looking for a full-time a full-time position as a technical director or as a designer or as a web designer. Then the next thing is your education. Now, this is very important. Your education, when you're applying for a job, your education or your experience have to be related to that job for your application to stand out. So that's why you have to include the list of degree that you have acquired and the name of the degree, the school that you obtained the degree, and the year that you obtain it, and also your GPA, especially if you have a very good GPA. Then the next is your work experience. Now, when you are writing your work experience, you have to list them based on how they relate to the position that you're applying for. For instance, if you did a particular job in a year, and then you did another one 3 years ago, If the one I did last year is not related to this position, you don't have to include that. You have to include the one that you did in the 3 years ago, which relates to this position. You have to put it in the first order like that. So, and also you have to list the things, the activities, the accomplishments you did, what you did during in that job, list it under that job experience to show that you have the experience that relates to this job that they are advertising. Then the next thing, the awards and honors. Awards and honors shows you testify to your accomplishment or your capability, your claim. So if you have received any award in that area, in the field, or any award that you have received that shows that you are excellent, that shows that you are doing very good in that field, you have to include it. You need to include it under this section. Then your skill. There are two types of skill. There is soft skills and there is a technical skill. So you have to list some soft skills, which is things that are personal skill, like teamwork is a personal skill, like good communication, writing skills, like organizing skills, like managing skills, time management. These are soft skills, things that relates to that position that can be helped with. And the hard skills or technical skills are skills that related directly to methods which you use to accomplish this task. Let's say you're applying for a job of a web developer, then you can mention the name of softwares that you use, which you are very good in. Let's say you are good in Word, Microsoft, in PowerPoint, in WordPress, WordPress or video development, you are to include those under that section. References. References is the number 6 important element. When you are applying for a job, the people that reviewing your application, they want somebody who can testify to everything that you listed in your resume. So it is good that you input 1 or 2 to 3 names of referees, people that can call or write to support your application. Say, I know Rufus, he can do this, he can do that, he worked with me, he can do this, can do that, it's good for this position. So it is very important that you do. And also, when looking for referee, you have to include people who have, if you have somebody you have worked with, maybe your supervisor, former supervisor in university, or former professor, or former boss or co-worker, or former collaborator, somebody you have worked with who understand, who knows how you work, who can easily testify without telling lie, without having any trouble to defend you. So